Hey everybody, what's up? Chad Wesley Smith here, and if you are new to the channel or have just heard of Juggernaut Training Systems, I'm going to take you on a little trip down memory lane to help you get better acquainted with myself, with this company, who we are and what we do and what we've done, so you can just understand a little bit better like why we should be such a trusted source for you because of this history. So I founded Juggernaut Training Systems in 2009. When I was straight out of college. I just finished throwing the shot put at Concordia University here in Orange County, threw about 64 feet in college, and was still a competitive track athlete for actually the entire next year. So Juggernaut was founded as a sport performance gym. I wasn't a powerlifter. We didn't coach powerlifters. We were sport performance. And then in 2010, my track career, a year of post-collegiate work, and then my track career came to an end, and I figured, hey, I'm already strong. So let me see what this powerlifting thing is all about. So then in October 2010, I did my first powerlifting meet, and that was using a program called the Juggernaut Method, which is something we'd been using with a lot of our clients in the gym at that time. We'd also, started creating content then, starting the Juggernaut YouTube channel with more intent back in 2010, even though I had a couple videos before that with high school football guys that I trained when I was doing that. But I do my first powerlifting meet in October 2010, squat 800, bench 210 kilos, 462, and deadlift 317 and a half, 700 pounds is 699 point whatever, but let's call it 700. And then about 2 months after that, released the book, The Juggernaut Method. That was very early in the, as if you can imagine it, not a lot of powerlifters were releasing ebooks. I guess it's kind of come full circle now at that they're not releasing them again. But it was kind of sort of like 531 and the Juggernaut Method were the big ones out there at that time. So in the early 2011, I got featured in Muscle and Fitness magazine with a big spread, as you can see, because of my centerfold good looks. And more people learned about the Juggernaut Method. And I continued my powerlifting career, going on in late 2011 to squat 905, which at the time was the American record in the 140 kilo, 308 pound weight class in knee wraps. Crazy how far the powerlifting world has come there. As I continued in powerlifting, more and more people were interested in what I had to say about training. So in late 2011, I did my first seminar. And then as we moved through 2012, from 2011 into 2012, we're doing a lot of sport performance coaching at the gym, sending guys off to play college football, sending guys to the NFL, helping jiu-jitsu athletes, MMA fighters, soccer players, basketball players, volleyball, everyone really, it was still and always a sport performance gym. I was doing powerlifting, but it's not a powerlifting gym by any stretch. Then in 2012, I also started competing in strongman, doing my first contest on one of the worst weather days I've ever seen here in Orange County, California, at California's Strongest Man on St. Patrick's Day. And then about 6 months later, I won North American Strongman Nationals and earned my pro card. So did that. And then a couple days after North American Strongman Nationals, we released the Juggernaut Method 2.0. As we moved through 2012 into 2013 and 14, at that point, the jtsstrength.com had become a really popular source, and I had assembled a team of writers and coaches and athletes. We're producing a ton of content, helping them release their own ebooks and traveling all around the world teaching seminars. So in our seminar history, we went all over the United States, Canada, Ireland, England, Australia a bunch of times. So I've gotten to teach, I think, about 250 seminars around the world. If I, as I think about that number, so probably, 30-ish people at each of those hands-on ones. You can do the math from there, as well as different lecture events where we'd have, 150, 200 people in attendance at that. So traveling around with, Dr. Mike Isertel and a lot of, Dr. Quinn Hennock and other coaches and athletes helping teach lifters of all abilities how to squat, bench, and deadlift more. In the midst of all this writing and teaching and training, I ended up sustaining, some herniated discs in 2013, which I then rehabbed with the help of guys like Dr. Quinn Hennock to come back and do my strongest powerlifting in 2014, 15, and 16. Also during that time, we released books like my manual Juggernaut Training, A Thoughtful Pursuit of Strength, as well as Scientific Principles of Strength Training, along with Dr. Mike Israetel and Dr. James Hoffman, which I'm sure a lot of you folks have read and enjoyed. So then in 2015 and 2016, lifted the biggest weights in my career, ended up totaling 2314 in 2015 and 2325 in 2016, so 1,050, 1,055 kilos, and then decided that was good for me on the competitive powerlifting side of things at the end of 2016. But at this point, I was coaching many of the strongest lifters in the world, as like Brandon Allen, Andy Huang, Steve Gentili, and of course, Juggernaut's own queen, Marisa Inda. So in 2017, everyone's lifting big weights. Marisa goes on to break the world record, all-time world record in the total in the 52 kilo class. Did that at the Arnold, the Grand Prix, big stage. It was awesome. And won her first and only IPF World Championship. 2018, we had, I think 4 USAPL senior or like the open class national champions. Had 4 or 5 people onto the world team that next year. Having people lift huge weights. I coached 2 lifters who squatted over 1,000 pounds in knee wraps. World record guy in the 242 class, T. Papula. So tons and tons of strong lifters, from little small female lifters to the biggest, strongest super heavies in the world and everyone in between. Throughout all this time, we kept teaching, making videos, writing articles, writing books, because throughout all of this, our real North Star is to provide you, coaches and athletes, with the best tools, information, and resources to help you reach your goals. So in 2018, we started working on our biggest tool to help you do that, which is what became the Juggernaut AI app. Because through doing all these seminars and traveling all around the world and talking to people, I got more and more frustrated with even programs like I had created, like the Juggernaut method, because it was static. It was sets and reps on this piece of paper or PDF, and it didn't change whether it was me using it or you using it or your mom using it or your little brother using it. Everyone was doing the same thing. And as I came to understand more and more the importance of individualization and understand how to apply that through all these different populations, then I said we need a way to bring this to the masses, because I can't coach 500 people or 5,000 people one-on-one. I was teaching at the seminars, but I would teach about MEV and MRV and individualization at these seminars. But at the end of it, people just wanted to know, well, what's my MEV? What's my MRV? How many sets do I do? So once I'd heard that question enough times, I was like, all right, I'm going to figure out a way to give them a specific number instead of just this kind of principle-based theoretical answer of this is how you go about calculating, this makes it go up, this makes it go down. How much does it really make it go up and down? So from that was born Juggernaut AI. Through 2018 and 2019, we kept working on that. And then at the end of 2020, with the help of our incredible CTO, Tim Arnold, we released the Juggernaut AI App. From there, the Juggernaut AI App has continued to grow, and we've added more great stuff to it. So from powerlifting, which it started with, to power building, then the Juggernaut BJJ app, bringing strength and conditioning for jiu-jitsu athletes, as that was one of the first populations that I started working with back at the inception of Juggernaut Training Systems all the way back in 2009. So at this point, working with those guys for 10, 11, 12 years, by the time the Juggernaut BJJ app was out. All along this time, I'm still doing a lot of sport performance coaching, working with guys for the NFL Combine, getting them ready to do that, coaching more of the world's strongest powerlifters. And as we kept adding to the Juggernaut AI app with its newer additions like strongman training, bench only, recently the Jugger Cube program, which is something that I use really effectively in the heart of my powerlifting career, because we're committed to continuing to bring you all the best information, the best resources available to help you become the strongest version of yourselves. And that's why I do this. That's why everyone here at Juggernaut Training Systems is working hard at their job, is because we care about you getting that great information. So when I started getting really into strength and conditioning, even when I was in high school, scouring the early 2000s internet, trying to learn how to train myself better as a 15, 16-year-old football player and shot putter, there wasn't a lot of great information, and there wasn't a lot of ways to tell what was good and what wasn't. And now as information has proliferated, now there's almost too much information to be able to tell what's good and what isn't. So hopefully you understand that we've been doing this for a very long time. Now in 2025, going on 16 years of coaching athletes in person, coaching athletes at seminars all around the world, coaching people online in a variety of sports, from beginner, intermediate, advanced, everyone in between, bringing you great books like Scientific Principles of Strength Training, the Powerlifting Program Design Manual, Juggernaut Method, all that stuff. It's all culminating to this point now in 2025 with everything that we're doing with the Juggernaut AI app, which I think brings you the best and kind of this culmination of the last 16 years of work for me. So hopefully you enjoyed this little look back through the history of Juggernaut Training Systems and Juggernaut AI. And it's giving you a little bit of perspective, better perspective on me, Chad Wesley Smith, and what we do here at JTS. So please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.